Good morning. I'd just like to briefly today introduce you to Medeco Copper and Gold, and I'll be here for the next 2 days, so if you're interested in further discussion, please drop by. Medeco is an emerging mid-cap mining company focused on Indonesian copper and gold assets. Has a mix of both producing copper and gold projects, a major development stage project with the Bukit porphyry underground, and then also a good growth portfolio, particularly with the Pani Gold acquisition. There are a number of factors that are coming together as Medeco starts to really grow. It's a relatively new company. It started with the acquisition of the Bukit project a number of years ago, but really only over the last 12 months it's moved forward on a acquisition and consolidation strategy with the acquisition of Finders Resources in Australia and the Pani Gold project, which I'll go into in a little bit more detail. But I think one thing that we recognise is that mining business is a complex business. It's not just about geology and engineering. It's also really about access to capital markets and social licence. And you need to put these elements together and really coordinate them to be able to advance your projects. So at Medeco, we've sort of very much had this in mind and have built a company that has a strong shareholder base, a sound financial position with access to capital, building a strong management team with international experience, recognising that whilst we're an Indonesian company and Indonesian heritage is important, mining is a global business and we need to access global talent. Quality assets, and we'll go into that in more detail, and a strong growth outlook and particularly a commitment to sustainability. In terms of the shareholders, there are three key founding shareholders behind Medeco Copper and Gold. There's Provident Capital. Provident is a well-known and successful private equity fund. They're involved in the founding of Tower Bersama and more recently have been involved in JD.com as their exclusive partner in Indonesia. And recently JD.com Indonesia has merged with Gojek. So a strong record of operating Indonesia, a strong record of success in private equity and building companies, and they've been investing in the mining sector for a number of years now, and Bukit is the foundation asset for what is this emerging mid-cap mining story. Saratoga is a well-known Indonesian investor, a long history of successful investments and a very strong reputation. And then Wetar here, in terms of mining industry credentials, was the founder of Adaro Coal, a large and very successful coal operator in Indonesia. I won't go into the details of the financial position. It's available on our website and certainly we can talk about it if you're interested. But I think a key thing in the mining industry is access to capital. Particularly as you have significant development stage projects, you've got extended periods where you've got significant investment in working capital and your capital projects. The access to capital comes from a number of different factors. One is the quality of your portfolio, but it's also your proven ability to operate. That goes back to your social license and your technical capabilities. The management team. So as I mentioned before, Medeco has a strong Indonesian heritage, but recognises that mining is a global business, access to global capital markets, but also access to global mining talent. So building a strong mining team at the executive level, led by Rick Ness. Rick Ness has many years' experience as the Vice President of Freeport in Indonesia, has spent a lot of time operating at Grasberg and also has experience at Batu Hijau. Colin Moorhead. Colin is an exceptional geologist who's led Newcrest in terms of their project development and resources, brings a lot of geological experience as well as mining development experience. He's also active in the industry and was recently president of AusIMM. Mark Anderson. We've recently just started to strengthen our corporate team as we've taken more of a portfolio approach. We've now got a number of assets that we're managing. Mark was COO at Kennecott Copper at Rio Tinto, and again brings a strong operating philosophy to the group. David Fowler is an experienced CFO and has been involved with Medeco and some of its investments over a number of years now. And we also recognise that we need a balanced team, both the international experience but also that strong Indonesian operating experience. And that comes with the President Director, Tri Bowono. I mentioned that we've got a sort of an emerging mid-cap and a balanced portfolio. So currently we've got 2 operating projects. The key operating project is the Bukit oxide open cut project. It's a low-cost project located in East Java. It's been operating now for 2 years. Current production is around 170,000 ounces per annum. Construction went incredibly well. It's in a part of Indonesia where there's a large population and there's a large, focus on this project and its role in the community. And so we've been extremely proactive in working with the community and developing a positive presence there. And again, our track record of sustainability and environmental management is exceptional. From a profitability, from a cash flow generation point of view, to have these assets at this stage of the development of the company is important, as it does provide important working capital. It's a low-cost operation, so with an all-in cost of around sort of $500 and a direct cash operating cost of under $400. So projects like this have tremendous potential to help fund the early stages of the major growth projects, particularly the Bukit underground. A second operating asset is the Wetar copper project. This was an acquisition. We took control of the project in April, May of last year. And we've gone through a project there of reinvesting and really focusing on a different approach with this project. Instead of looking at really minimising the capital employed in the project, we're looking at investing in long-term value here. So we've gone through a process of not only improving the current heap leach operations, and last year we successfully produced 17,000 tonnes of cathode. This year we've got production guidance of about 23,000 to 24,000 tonnes, but we're also increased investment in exploration. We've just completed a successful exploration program at a site called Patalang, and that will be, it's a VMS style project, so we have multiple small pits. We're currently developing our second pit. Patalang will be the third pit, which will extend mine life. We've also completed a geophysics program where we expect to be able to identify a fourth and fifth pit to give this project what at the time of acquisition maybe had a 2-year mine life into something that's potentially going to be beyond 5 years. Again, it's a low-cost operation. At the moment, we're investing substantially in CapEx. I mentioned the second pit development, Lorocos. I mentioned the exploration. But when you look at it on a cash operating basis, it has potential to generate significant profit. Last year, we had 40 million in EBITDA. Based on production guidance this year, with current stable copper prices, it could be around 70 million EBITDA. This is a little bit more detail on the exploration. We've been very focused on near mine opportunities, but it's a large tenement. We've only really just started to look at the potential of this tenement with the geophysics survey, but there's a lot of exploration potential there. With an exploration budget of really just single figure millions of dollars per annum, there's incredible leverage in success there. Sustainability, at the start mentioned that mining is really a complex business with many elements to it. Of course you need good quality assets, a growth profile or being able to continually extend the life of your operations is important, but you can't do that without a social license. Within Medeco, I guess there's a strong recognition of that. There's strong investment in our teams, strong investment in our communities. And we look at the importance of this, I guess, to really highlight it, and something that we've seen in many projects. Whilst from time to time you'll hit operating hurdles, these may delay or temporarily suspend production. If you don't work on social license, it can stop production altogether. You know, our role in Indonesia, our identity as an Indonesian-based company, and our investment in our communities is a key cornerstone to the company. Not only do we have these current operating assets, but we also really believe in Indonesia's geology. We believe that we're well placed to take the company in a number of interesting directions as we continue to build on that. We have exploration growth at Wetar, which I've referred to Bukit, the underground development opportunity, and then Pani Gold acquisition. But overall, there's a number of, as yet, either unidentified or underexploited opportunities. And again, as people grapple with how to navigate Indonesia, our strong Indonesian shareholders and Indonesian heritage, Indonesian identity mean that we're well placed to succeed. The Tuju Bukit Porphyry project, without going into great detail, I think some may take a different view, but in my view, it's one of the top current undeveloped copper opportunities globally. It's currently going through a stage of advanced exploration, entering detailed feasibility studies over the next couple of years, potentially a construction and production opportunity over the next 3 to 5 years. A thing that really underpins Tuju Bukit is grade, a combination of strong copper and gold grade. There's also a particularly high grade zone, which will be the first stage, approximately 200 to 300 million tonnes of over 1% copper equivalent. We can discuss separately, if you're interested, the timeline for the study. The Pani acquisition, currently it's a low grade, moderate grade, but bulk, open cut, mineable gold resource. Currently the total resource is around 2 million ounces. And again, within this region, there's a lot of opportunity for consolidation with other licenses and the opportunity to build what is a very substantial low-cost gold project. But we're still in the early days of exploration and still have a lot of work ahead of us. But again, for moderate investment, there's extremely high leverage here. So just to conclude, this is the growth profile or the trajectory in which Medeca is going to follow over the next few years. We are underpinned by these 2 operating assets with cash flows from both copper and gold. We have an interesting exploration portfolio which requires only modest investment but has exceptional potential. And then really a key focus at the moment is the moving into the feasibility studies for the Tuju Bukit underground. So we've got a clear growth pipeline over the next 3 to 5 years, and then a lot of opportunities beyond that as well. So I'll be here for the next couple of days. If you'd like to find out more about Medeca, please come to our booth.